Good morning and welcome to Love Island the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast, debriefing on all the drama this morning. You have me, Amy Hart.
And me, Indiyah Polack, and we are ready to dive into all of last night's drama.
And once again, we are also joined by the wonderful Nadia Jae.
Hello,
She's
good
back.
morning.
Last night was, once again, a lot. So
heavy.
let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Starting with Toni and Harrison.
Yeah.
A lot can change in 24 hours. Yesterday morning, we were talking about the fact that they were done, it was finished, and now they're back together. How are we feeling about it?
I don't know, I'm very indifferent because quite frankly, I'm a little bit shocked that Toni did take Harrison back. I feel like he kind of got his way. He kind of realised that Toni maybe is a safe space and it's not going to work out fully with Helena. So it's like, you know what, let me go back to somebody that I think is a bit more trustworthy and I can kind of count on to be in a relationship with.
Yeah, I just not how we spend our birthday, is it, babes? Do you know what I mean? Yesterday I said on the pod, I think she did too much. I knew she was going to do a full circle. When a woman's really done, it's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? There's barely any words sometimes. But the fact that she kept going on and I was like, she's not finished with him. So it didn't take enough for him to get back in her cuddling, and they were on the terrace and I was like, babe, he literally just said he's going to try. He didn't say anything for me that made me feel like, yeah, he's serious about her. And I feel like the flowers yesterday that didn't work, but then the little 4 words that did work today, it's just mismatched energy, babes. Like, who are we? Like, I would have preferred she'd been like, okay, look, today's a start. Graft and get me back.
Yeah.
And that would have felt more realistic. So I think she overdid it yesterday and underdid it today.
Yesterday, maybe she was going for like if I'm really firm with him and I say, that's it, I'm done, he will come back to me and get rid of Helena, which is what happens. If that's what she was thinking, like, it did work. One thing that I noticed later on in the episode when they were talking about the whole Harry, Helena, Shakira situation, which we'll talk about later, is Harrison said to Shakira, do you feel like you have to stay with him because there's nobody else in here for you? And she was like, no, I really like him. I feel like that says a lot about how he feels Toni is towards him and how he potentially feels about Toni as well.
And with that being said, do you think he's also like, yes, thinking out loud, but you know me.
I know what you're going to say because I'm thinking the same
That's how
thing.
he feels about Shakira.
Yes!
So as in like he has no other choice to stay with Toni because it's so far gone. Shakira and Toni are best friends and it's like, I just have no choice but to stay with her. But I really want you, babe.
It was checking the temperature of the room as well. He was
Literally.
thinking, do you know that anyone else likes you in the villa? Let me just confirm.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else you like? And she's like, no, I like him. He's like, right, so I've got extra work to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I did feel that. Like,
Yeah.
I did feel that. But, you know, the men, honestly, they're doing what they want in that villa. I just wish Toni stood on business a little bit more because she deserves it. I think she deserves more.
Harrison did go and speak to Helena. It was sort of like, well, we can't speak anymore. We can speak in group situations. We can't hold hands. Do you think he dealt with that bit the right way?
Yes and no. His hand was forced. Do you know what I will say about Harrison? I think he's a nice guy, genuinely. I think he did feel really bad about what happened with Toni the night before. And I think he's looking at Helena knowing that she absolutely wants Harry. And even if he coupled up with her, she's a risk. Like literally. So he could couple up with them and as soon as Harry clicks his fingers, he knows Helena's gone. Have
She's a
Toni.
flight risk.
She's a flight risk. I was going to say, girl, you're in my brain.
I'm literally thinking that.
She's a flight risk. So stay with Toni, make her happy. She's a sweet enough girl.
Ultimately, do we think Harrison or Toni's heads could be turned in the next 4 weeks?
Absolutely. I feel like not enough work has been put in both ways, to be honest, for them to be like, oh, look, I want to stay completely loyal to you. I feel like Toni has been through enough. And I feel like Harrison, although he is sorry, I do think he did feel bad for what happened last night. I do think he is also just like making do with this situation.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to stand on this and say that I think that he wants Shakira.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do about it. So I feel like he's making it work with Toni. If there is a bombshell to come in, I think he would actually prefer to just start fresh.
Yeah.
I think he's waiting for Shakira's heart to be broken.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to
he's going to scoop her up.
Oh,
What
my
are you doing
God.
today?
He's going to put that
Yeah.
S on his chest and be like, babe,
Yeah.
I've just been waiting.
Because I actually think he's a lover boy, but
Yeah.
just for the right girl. I'm not sure it's Toni.
But do you think he'll have the guts to do it while Toni's in there?
She hopefully should be coupled up with someone else by
Yeah.
then. I think he's thinking.
Or if it gets too far gone, he just needs Toni to be like, you know what? I'm all right with it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I feel like also Shakira, because obviously a couple of episodes before, I have personally seen them flirt.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Toni came like, you know, over to Shakira and was like, you know what? It's fine. Do what you want to do. I don't like Harrison. Crack on. Shakira would.
Agreed.
Megan told us that Harrison and Shakira are together all the time.
She did. Yeah.
Off the record, I think it might have been. But anyway, it's now on the record.
It's on the record.
But I think as well, like nobody is going to close anything off until Meg and Dejon have closed off.
Oh,
Because I feel like because they've been together the longest, they have probably the strongest connection.
Yeah.
Other people probably feel like if they're not closed off, then it's too early for us. And I notice in previous series many times, as soon as one person closes off, then it's like
Everyone else
dominoes.
starts.
Everyone starts doing
So
it.
do you genuinely feel like Meg and Dejon are setting the tone for the villa?
Oh,
I do.
gosh.
Like,
we're
do you really think these guys
we're
are
in trouble, guys.
the class A examples? You know when the teacher be like, show your work.
Are they the mum and dad of the villa?
They are.
Right. I think at the end of the day, we know why Dejon doesn't want to close things off with Megan is because he doesn't think he needs to yet because he still wants to explore.
Yeah.
And she knows that, but she will defend
Yeah.
and deflect.
Don't
I don't
be in a
know.
relationship anyway.
Yeah, and it's like, hun, at this point, it's a little bit disrespectful because even when she tried to talk to him about it, he was like, you're my number one priority. And like, we're good the way we are. And it's like, this is placemat behaviour.
Yeah.
Like, once again, he's just looking for the right girl to run off with
Yeah.
the way I look at it.
Well, we'll get back on to Meg and Dejon when we talk about the challenge later. But before that, let's talk about Love's Young Dream again and again and again, and then not and again. Helena and Harry.
Oh, double
They're back, baby.
He literally sat there and said, we are so back.
Back to what though? Because it's not even like they were good when they were together.
Yeah.
I am really sad. I saw the first look yesterday afternoon. And because, as you know, I love Shakira and I love Shakira and Harry together because Shakira likes him so much. And I loved the fact that Helena's been giving it the whole like da da da. And he's been like, no. So I loved how like strong he was being and stuff. Watching the first look today and reading like the like little blurb about the episode, I actually felt scared to watch it because I was like, I feel like I'm going to be crying by the end of this episode. And I feel like I nearly was. What do we think about them? They seem to be gravitating back to each other. Did we see it coming?
Genuinely, I didn't see it coming because Harry has been so strong. He's been acting like, the mature boy. And I feel like, the conversation he had with Shakira on the terrace, had a little kiss. It seemed like, we're back on the straight and narrow. I don't know where this slip has come from, but it is coming across a little bit disrespectful. And I feel like, he just wants to have one little last play before he makes his final decision. And he's not realising this one little last play is going to be the last play for the rest of your life with Shakira. Because the minute she gets word, it's done.
I'm just so over it at this point. I was saying to you guys off mic, post-nut clarity is a real thing, okay? He's horny.
Yeah.
And
That's the tweet. Like, that's it. He's horny. And Helena makes it difficult to defend her because she does some very strange things in that villa. And I'm like, girl, get it together. The bikini.
Right, can you comment down below? Have you ever shared a bikini with someone?
Girl, like that kind of, should I put on the bikini then to simulate being
My thing
her?
is-
I don't know what's happening here, but whilst the boys are making breakfast for said girls that they've chosen, I need Helena to not be running around the villa saying that, actually he wants me when he hasn't said that.
Right. Yeah, I think we need some clarity on that.
Did he say that?
No, he didn't say that.
From what we have seen, he's never said we will get back together. And when she was going, we've decided we're going to get back together. We just need to work out when that is. Like, and everyone's going, oh, really? Really? They all love it so much. I think Dejon and Harry are best friends and Meg and Helena are best friends.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier for Meg and Dejon if Harry and Helena were together.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Meg keeps bringing stuff up and being like, Helena wants to go to the hideaway with you again and all this. And Dejon isn't saying to her, like, stop meddling. Because for them, it's so much easier if the four of them can just be a four.
Yeah, but then just do that then.
We could have done this on Monday.
We could have done this on Monday, lads. Like, it's starting to feel like we're doing the same episode.
Yeah.
Like, guys, this is definitely not Tuesday. I promise you. You've got a different top and everything. So it's just like, I just need Harry to stand up. I need Helena to be a bit more girlsy. Like, go and talk to Shakira and tell her what's been going on.
Yeah.
They should have had a conversation by now. Like, letting Harry lead this is the wrong idea. I just think, unfortunately for Helena, if they go into that hideaway and we get hidden things happening in that hideaway, I don't know if he's going to lose that momentum with her. I don't know, but I'm bored of the two of them now. It's just like, get together or leave each other alone.
Yeah, and I feel like it's all happening at the expense of Shakira's feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which isn't fair because I feel like Shakira put a lot of her pride aside to get back with Harry. She wasn't going to, and then she decided to give him a chance. He showed her a few things. She's given him the benefit of the doubt and he's absolutely
But why?
ruining it. Literally, we saw Shakira sit around that fire pit. Harrison asked her the question and she sat there and said, you know what? I don't have to do this, but I actually like
But
him.
this is why you have to do this, because men need to earn things.
Yeah.
I know it's the villain, it's a little bit different, but Toni and our lovely Shakira are going to find themselves in a bit of a pickle if those two go off on one, because they haven't done enough to prove that they want you both anyway.
No.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It is hard. What we said about Shakira earlier on was that her feelings for Harry, as you said, she wasn't going to get back with him.
Yeah.
And she has. And like when she said, I'm really tired, and he was like, yeah, because we were kissing all night and stuff. Like, he's like sort of nurtured her feelings for him and made them grow when he had no thought about actually staying with her. And I'm just really upset about the whole thing.
Yeah, it is upsetting.
It's a tough one.
Dejon said to Harry that he wasn't sure about Harry and Shakira, and you're not yourself when you're with her. You've turned into someone else. What would you do if one of your friends said to you, "I don't think you are yourself. I don't think this person's right for you"?
My friend has said that to me. My friend was like, yeah, I don't know if I know this you. When I looked back, I was like, yeah, no. And she was like, I'm so glad you saw it. So it did spark something in me at the time.
Obviously, when Harry was like really messing about, Dejon looked like a bit of a saint.
Yes.
But now that Harry's in his like relationship era with Shakira, he's got nobody to be not as bad as.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
maybe that's why he's like,
it was-
get out with Helena and then like
And
start
then,
playing
let's start
around
being,
again.
Yeah, because it was them
Make
that
me
were
look
doing
good.
things like, oh, let's kiss the girl we like in challenges and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think Dejon's realising his boys' holiday is coming to an end, because you actually do need to get into a relationship now and take things seriously.
But he's not taking his own advice. Do we think by any chance Harry was actually influenced by what Dejon had to say? Because obviously they're
Nah.
best friends in there, and your friends' opinions matter.
I will give Dejon the benefit of the doubt, because Meg told Dejon that Helena said that we're back on. And he was like, really? Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, right. If he's going off that information, because he's not going to question Meg
Yeah.
and think that that's incorrect info. So he's probably thinking, well, okay, go back to Helena.
Yeah.
But I think maybe Dejon's just looking at how Harry behaves around Shakira versus how he behaves around Helena. And like you said earlier, Amy, it makes sense if the four of them are just that little couple and that little quartet.
What do we predict is going to happen in this situation?
Obviously, as we left the episode last night, it was still nighttime. They're around the fire pit. Harry said a lot of stuff to Helena already, can I
Yeah.
just say? So us seeing that last night, him going, we are so back, we're so back. He said that loads of times
Yeah.
anyway. He could probably go back to Shakira and be like, oh yeah, it's really nice to spend time with you again. I really like you, snogging in bed again. Or they'll end up in the hideaway.
I think Shakira should lock it off now.
Yeah.
I think it's enough. I think she should just stop kissing him at night. She should be like, we need to have a chat and call it a day. If I was her, and Toni was literally saying everything I was thinking, go and pull them both. Get the clarity you need and get out of there. That's what I would do.
I do feel bad for Harry though, because obviously he does have a track record of being a bit economical with the truth. So if Helena said to Shakira, yeah, he said that we're going to get back together, we just got to decide a time when, which wasn't actually true, Shakira wouldn't believe Harry when he said, I never said that, I never said that.
And also, nobody's going to believe Harry, but at the end of the day, even though Helena was muddling up the words, he sat there in that den and said to her, we are so
But
back.
that was afterwards. When she
Yeah.
was going around saying in the morning, because he made breakfast for Shakira,
Yeah.
she obviously then was a bit like,
yeah.
well, he's told me. He's making breakfast.
Yeah, but who did
he's
she
told
tell
me.
though? Because when that came up in the challenge about what was said, she didn't say anything.
No.
She didn't say that, oh, Harry said this, because that was a lie.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying Shakira needs to have them both there, because Helena and Harry are the same person.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, they
literally
are,
say
yeah.
one thing one place and one thing another place. They all just need to be at the fire pit, let it blow up, and then she can clear the smoke and decide what she wants to do. But I think Shakira deserves better. I mean, she just needs another guy.
Halfway into another season full of unreal pre-loved, and forecasts predict that summer is about to get even hotter. So it's that time to cool off and debrief all things Villa fashion with eBay. The temperature's rising for Shakira and Harry as they layered on the Factor 50 with the chats, the flirts and the fits. She bought the vibes in a slay meshki dress, while he brought back the iconic pink Stussy jacket to turn heads, worn previously by All-Star Series 1's Tom. Could this be the start of something new? While emotions ran high, count on Harrison and Toni to bring back the sweetness at their strawberry picking date. Toni stunned in a rat and boa accessorised with a Prada crochet bag, while Harrison kept it fresh in his Percival Cuban shirt and Obey shorts. Another match made in Pre-Loved. Looking to find your next summer love? Move on with Pre-Loved and eBay, sponsors of Love Island. Last night it was down to the challenge stage. We haven't had many challenges at the challenge area this year.
No.
We had a very high budget Superman challenge last night, which included the boys going from their Clark Kent suits into their Superman outfit. They had to do the slide.
I did enjoy the slide.
They had to lift up the city, and then it produced a newspaper with a headline about a character trait of Superman. Superman is loyal, Superman is caring, Superman is intellectual, and they had to assign it to the boy that was most like and the boy that it was least like.
Yes.
And we got some fireworks, didn't we?
It was very, very tearful.
Absolutely.
Now, Superman is intellectual. They said that Gio was the most intellectual and Ben was the least. I mean, I don't agree with that because, taxi drivers have to learn a lot. They have to know all the road names.
I also haven't heard Gio speak enough that makes me think he's intellectual. And also, for me, when it comes to men, I look at guys that can also communicate their feelings very well. And I actually would have given it to Tommy.
Yeah. Then we had Superman is loyal. So Tommy was the most loyal and Harry was the least loyal. Harry did actually say that he's a changed man. Do you think what he means by that is when him and Helena inevitably get back together, that he will be a changed man and they're going to go on some sort of redemption arc, like a Aladdin flying carpet?
I don't think Harry knows what he's saying most of the time, babes. Nothing he's done has been loyal.
No.
So no notes at this point, Harry. I don't know what you think you're saying and what you think you're doing, but they're not matching up.
He's loyal to both Shakira and Helena. He's doubly loyal.
Because he likes them both. I don't know.
Or he's loyal to his feelings changing every day. I don't know.
Now, Superman is honest. Gio was voted the most. See, we're not seeing a lot of Gio, but clearly he's making a big impression in
I
the
would
villa.
have said Connor. I think Connor's the most honest.
You think so?
Yeah, because he's just like, hey, if I like you, I like you. If I don't, I
Yeah.
don't. Like, there's no grey areas with Connor, and he's managed to be super respectful every time he's recoupled.
Although you say no grey areas, we did have the multiple times where he spoke in riddles, trying to break it off with someone who then walked away and was like, yeah, me and Connor are still on. He had given a big grey area.
Yeah, fairs, but less than the others.
Best of a bad bunch.
Best of a bad bunch, exactly.
And Harry and Harrison were voted the least because they'll tell two girls things they want to hear.
Yes.
Are Harry and Harrison one and the same?
They're the greyest of the grey.
Absolutely.
Them two.
Yeah.
This was when Shakira and Helena had a bit of back and forth, and Helena said about, oh, well, he said there's something undeniable there.
This was the prime moment for Helena to be like, well, actually, he said we're still on. She didn't.
No.
She just said, you can't deny the undeniable. And it's like, are we speaking in code here? Because you definitely told Meg this morning.
Yeah, that you were going to get back together.
Mic on, that you were going to get back together. So this is the perfect moment to bring that up, no? So for me, it just made her look like she's telling porkies, but just like her man. Like her and Harry are literally the same person. At this point, they deserve each other. But I also think Shakira's not asking the right questions to the right person.
Then we had Superman is brave. Connor was voted the most and Dejon was voted the least.
Oh, this popped right off.
Because he was playing it safe. Do we think Dejon has played it too
Yes.
safe?
Absolutely.
Yes. We could see his face and body twitching to go for Billykiss.
Yeah.
I did say yesterday that I give him the benefit of the doubt that he hasn't known her long enough to be like, give up everything from Meg and then recouple. That's a lot. That's not the same as getting to know someone. However, I did not enjoy seeing Meg almost like battling it out on behalf of Dejon, who clearly can speak for himself.
Yeah.
And Meg's done this before. It's not our fault that he's not deciding to lock things down with you. It's all mismatched.
Fresh off the back of that last one was Superman is dedicated and Connor was voted the most and then Dejon was voted the least again. And that was when him and Billykiss had their big run-in.
Which I feel like Billykiss was well within her rights to say everything that she said to Dejon, because
Absolutely.
you want to sit here and tell me they were dedicated. We had a lovely day. Everybody in that house could see the fire, the connection, the chemistry. And it's like, if you're so dedicated to Meg, like she said, close it off.
Yeah.
We are 4 weeks in. We don't know who's coming in. But if you're so happy with your Meg, why are you still open?
And if you can't answer that, don't tell me that it's because I want 5 minutes of TV.
Yeah, I think that was silly because everybody is on Love Island. We're all getting
Toni
springtime
said,
in.
she said,
Tony,
"Yeah,
here.
television."
If you two are fine with the way things are, Megan, you don't even have to speak. Like, let your man do the talking.
He's getting called out left, right and centre by Yasmin, by Billykiss, by the girls. He's getting defensive because it's true.
Yeah.
If we were to sit Dejon here right now and be like, hey, we're week 4, you claim you don't want to get to know anybody else and you really love your Meg, why aren't you closed off?
Just be honest.
He can't give anyone an answer right now.
People need to remember, being closed off or exclusive or you're the only person I want to get to know in here, it's not legally binding.
Exactly.
If someone else comes in, you can leave them. It doesn't cost you any money to do it. You haven't got to like go and buy something from the beach hut.
Yeah. He didn't need to be mean to Billykiss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I see why Meg did it, but I think him doing it as well and like them two almost high-fiving about it, it's like, do you guys know what we think out here?
The beauty of it is they don't know.
They don't.
I think this year they're all quite dramatic in that, you know, we've had people cutting stuff off like straight away, like, no, I'm done, like done, goodbye. Nobody seems to be in these committed couples. Everyone's open, nobody's closing anything off. I feel like it's going to mean a lot more when they do start closing things off. Normally, people are sort of like, it's Love Island, you know, I'm in a couple with you. It's going to take someone quite special for my head to turn. Yeah. So right now we'll say we're closed off. And it's all been quite like calm, whereas I feel like this series, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like it's all or nothing for these people.
Yeah. Well, there's no couples and my favourite is Yaz. Yeah. So, I mean, not knowing is knowing as far as I'm concerned. Dej, just stick with Meg and call it a day. I'm just a little bit concerned that he's more worried about what it looks like rather than his actual feelings for Meg.
And I'm a little bit concerned that, you know what, hats off to him if he thinks that him and Meg have a great thing going. That's who he wants to be with until the end of time and that's his person. But this is the Love Island villa. At the end of the day, you're here to explore. You've been exploring.
You have been Dora, the explorer.
The minute that Dejon realises that actually I'm building a connection and this could actually maybe be something more than Meg, he seems to just sort of like get scared and tap out.
Yeah.
And disregard all of it in the hopes that, oh, you know what? Forget it. I'm with Meg. I don't want to ruin it.
And then in Meg's defence as well, she sat him down and was like, why are we not closed off?
Meg has also started to have doubts about Dejon.
Yeah.
We have seen her in the girls' changing rooms be like, hey, actually, what do me and Dee have in common?
Yeah.
And that's because she has witnessed certain connections form with Dejon. So I just feel like they both need to be a bit more real with each other. You guys owe it to yourself to get to know other people.
Yeah.
Let it happen. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Do you think the chain of events of Ramel trying to get to know someone else and then him being voted the least favourite boy 2 days later and getting dumped from the island, do you think that will be in the back of the boys' heads?
I don't think the rest of them care too much.
No.
But Dejon's definitely. I think he just needs to be careful that he's not risking having something real with Meg because you've actually stayed out of the villa, didn't sleep with another girl in that bed. You should know by now.
Yeah.
Sort it out. Let's get to a fresh week and be like, do you know what, Meg? I do want to be with you. And if another girl comes in, doesn't mean that my head won't never turn.
Yeah.
But I do want to be with you now. And then that would make it a bit easier for us to kind of be like, okay, cool.
I feel like low-key Meg was trying to feed him that though. Yeah. You know when they were sitting around the mini fire pit?
Yes.
And Meg was actually saying, well, at this point, it should be pretty clear to, you know, Yasmin and Billykiss what you mean.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was her kind of hinting, like, we've been through enough now. You've had a sleepover. So really and truly, right now,
what are you waiting for?
Tell me we're exclusive.
Yeah. You never know when your last day is going to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
And obviously we don't know anything that's going to happen in the future, but things like Casa Amor, you don't know they're coming. So you need to like vocalise these feelings.
Exactly.
And like everyone needs to know where everyone stands. So that if something does happen where you get torn apart and you can't say goodbye to each other and you can't like have a chat before you go.
But only time will tell, Amy.
Time will tell.
Well, ladies, sadly, that is all we have time for. What a conversation.
I know. Look at us, we're turning into mini therapists.
I know. Can't wait till tomorrow. Make sure you catch Love Island First Look on Love Island socials and YouTube later on this afternoon. And as ever, leave a comment down below and any questions, opinions, anything, the morning after at itv.com. We will see you here, same time, same place, first thing tomorrow.